Hello. Way you dare for today to cry. Someday you will say, can't you say that everything you say? One time with it. One time. Do it to the end. One time with it. One time. Away. One time for today. Try. One day you will say, do this, can't do that, and make it all the way. Beat me one time with it. One time. Do it to the end. Beat me one time with it. One time. One way. Only one time for today. To cry. All day you say. Hey, one time for today. To cry. Day you say. All right. New song called One Time. I have an audio track on my YouTube for it. If you want to see it, it was a fairly recent song, like just a few videos back. It's on the album coming up called K is for Keith. All right, so next thing I wanted to do was, let's move to the guitar for a second. Ole! Sky is dark and the trees are bare. It's a lovely time day. Seems like he isn't stopping outside. Everyone is away. The scenery doesn't look the same. Don't want them to know my name. But it's too late, they remember me when I used to want to be a star. I just don't feel the same way. I just don't feel the same way. I just don't feel the same way. I sit inside on my tiny car, it's sleeping. I know. When I can't stand being exalted, there's no place to go. I like to dream of what I can be. No one's laughing, no one ever plays. I can't erase bitter memories. I can only drive and drive the car. I just don't feel the same way. 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 Gotta feel the same way. Gotta feel the same way. Head rush. All right. Oh, thanks, Oracle of Courage. That high note, though, I didn't warm up my voice for the high notes, really, because I was busy watching Chargers and messing around with this stuff. If you go back, I did a little looper song of a new rock song I did where I play the drums and did the bass on the keyboards and then did the guitar with a looper pedal. So it's like and that's how I actually record a lot of those newer songs is with a looper pedal, just because it's fast. Anyways, let me switch here. I'm going through the actual set that I would do live. That's what I'm actually doing today. So let's go here. Piano. I'm playing my to-go keyboard. I actually have a piano, but I'm not dragging a piano to a gig. So I've been playing the keyboard just to get used to playing keyboard because it feels, especially these old 90s keyboards, because they're not, what's it called, weighted keys. These are just regular, the old-fashioned, too easy to push keys. So, okay. So, there you go, Oracle of Courage. That's for you. Oh, let me see what this is. Second time I've walked in my blue car. That's because I tend to play that one on acoustic guitar. I have a bunch that I can do, of course, but I know the words of that one really good, and I released that on vinyl record a long time ago, in 1994, and cassette too, and not CD. It was on an independent label in Chicago, out of Chicago, and I did my first solo record, but I didn't want to go by my name yet. I was like Chicken, so I went by a band name. But it wasn't a band. S is for space. Thank you. Anyways, let me try one more. Here's a new one. It's going to be off my new album, which is recorded, like I said, in various high quality and the lowest quality possible. Like some of it's recorded with the full studio with all the stops, and some of the stuff is recorded with just the looper pedal or a tape recorder, and like a Beatles thing. Anyways, here's one of them, like a jazz piano song. It's called Island in the Sky. Take me far away to a place we can hide. Every time I see your eyes, to an island in the sky. And all that's left to say is that I hope I can see you even more than yesterday. Won't you come with me and play? Take me far away to a place we can hide. Every time I see your eyes, to an island in the sky. And all that's left to say that I hope I can see you even more than yesterday. Won't you come with me and play? There you go. I guess I should write a second verse. I have a tendency to write only one verse and then move on to another song. So I have like a million songs that only have one verse, like literally like hundreds probably, because I just move on. Like I'll write the second verse later and then I never do it. But although I do have a lot of songs that do have whole songs, of course, but you'd be surprised how many only have one verse. All right. So let me go to, let me try this. Now, if you don't know, a long time ago, I did a Hot for Waldo. Yeah, I started off on guitar and piano kind of at the same time, but really guitar. I play guitar for serious. I moved to Hollywood and practiced the guitar for like all day long for like 2 years before I moved to Hollywood when I was 18 to join a glam metal band. And I ended up getting a record deal, but although it's considered an alternative metal, pop metal, I guess, but alternative. It's really with punk, like a punk singer, but we weren't really punk dudes, so it didn't really sound like punk. It sounded like hair melodies playing. To me, it sounded like hair melodies playing punk. But we got signed with Relativity with Steve Vai and Joe Satriani. I even went to Steve Vai's house. We got signed. It was pretty cool. Hung out with him for like 2 hours, and he's showing me all his pedals, like vintage pedals. Steve Vai is going, "Hey, check out this new pedals I got." And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I was a new guitar player that they just signed in a band called the Untitled. So he was like, oh, I heard, I heard that you got, I heard about your band and all that stuff. And I was there with the vice president giving him a ride because he didn't want to take a taxi. And then we were recording, and the vice president was checking in on the recording. And then said, hey, Keith, since I know that you're like a massive Steve Vai fan, would you mind giving me a ride to Steve Vai's house? I can't guarantee that you can go in, but you can at least say hello. But then Steve says, oh, come on in. When I came, oh, come on in. His wife served us cookies. It was really cool. Anyways, I did this thing called Hot for Waldo, which was Hot for Teacher, played by Waldo. And I dressed up like Waldo, had the glasses, kind of like now. But people actually thought I was Waldo for like 10 years. And it was like featured on Van Halen's news desk twice. Because the second guy didn't even know, and he thought I was Waldo. The second interviewer, I was like, it started the interview, and it's like, so, what was it like being in Van Halen's Hot for Waldo video or teacher video? I was like, that wasn't me. And he's like, what? He thought I was Waldo. But anyways, I'm gonna do a tribute to that right now. I'm not gonna record the whole song, but I'll do like the hot spots of the instrumental. A little tribute. This is a tribute to Eddie Van Halen and Alex Van Halen, the brothers. Okay, here you go. One of the things I'm working on to do live. Oh, I gotta practice it. I gotta practice that. Ah, crap. I should have practiced that. Hold on, Oracle. I gotta practice this for a second. That one. All right, here we go. One more time. Shit. I'm nervous now. One more try. Sorry about that. I should have warmed up and practiced that one. I sort of think that I have it in the bag, but I haven't actually played it in a long time. I forget. Oh, shit. I don't remember this as well as I thought. Anyways. Metal guitar pick. That's how you sound like Eddie Van Halen. You got to use a metal pick. That helps out. Forgot to put on the overdrive. I'm just freestyling some Eddie Van Halen stuff. You gotta do it like that too, not like this. But like, it took me forever to get that. That's me loosely doing something that I tend to tighten it up, but I'm just kind of rehearsing things here. Yeah, a looper pedal, exactly. He said, I see what you mean by loop now. Yes, looper pedal, yeah. But the other one was like a song. You know, I did a song, and that one I like I said, I didn't practice. I think I brought that up a lot. I messed with it a few days ago and realized that part was giving me a little bit of trouble. But then I smoothened it out. But it doesn't work like that. You got to smoothen it out like every day for like 2 weeks, that kind of stuff. I also did that live opening up for Great White in front of all my students and their parents. It was nerve-wracking, but I played it pretty much on. I mean, I kind of sped up a little in the one part because I opened with it, so I was like heart pounding. All right, so then I wanted to go over to this. Some ukulele. Let me see. Do nothing till you hear from me. Pay no attention to what's said. My people tell the seams of anyone's dreams. It's over my head. Do nothing till you hear from me. At least consider our romance. What people do to anyone's dreams. I haven't a chance. True, I've been seen with others. That doesn't mean that I'm untrue when we're apart. My heart reveals the way I feel about you. Some kiss may cloud my memory, and other arms may hold a thrill. But please do nothing till you hear it from me, and you never will. Do nothing till you hear from me. Pay no attention to what's said. While people tear the seams of anyone's dreams, it's over my head. Do nothing till you hear from me. At least consider our romance. You should take the words of others you've heard. I haven't a chance. True, I've been seen with others. That doesn't mean that I'm true. We're apart. My heart reveals the way I feel about you. So kiss me, cloud my memory. Another arm may hold a thrill. But please do nothing till you hear it from me, and you never will. There you go. Put that down and some water. That was Duke Ellington with Ella Fitzgerald. Here's one for you. Is White Sandy Beach. Actually, let me check my tune real quick. Oh, never mind. Last night in my sleep, saw you lying there on a white sandy beach of a fight. We were playing in the sun. We were having so much fun on a white sandy beach of Hawaii. Sound of the ocean soothes my restless soul. Sound of the ocean rocks me all night long. Those not some summer days, lying there in the sun on a white sandy beach of Hawaii. Sound of the ocean soothes my restless soul. Sound of the ocean rocks me all night long. Last night in my sleep, saw you lying there on a white sandy beach. On a white sandy beach of Hawaii. On a white sandy beach of Hawaii. On a white sandy beach of Hawaii. All right. And what else do I want to do here? I don't know if you're still there. Are you still there, Oracle? Let's see here. Got it. Here we go. This is some Les Paul. I don't know if anyone's there. I'll probably only be watching this by the end of the thing or whatever, but it don't matter because it makes me it's good practice because it makes me nervous. Sorry about that. This is the last song. Mm-hmm. There you go. Woo! Pressure, actually. But that's what I'm trying to do, is put pressure on myself, because I never play these ones, but I'm trying to. Oh. I don't have a planned release. I mean, I just wait until I have enough songs, but I put the songs out right when I make them. So you can actually listen to it on my channel right now. And the last, all my albums, and some are super low budget, some are high budget, some are done in studios. Sometimes they're done, there's like demo albums of just demos, like millions of, like, well, not millions, but lots of demos. But if you look on my channel or on my playlists, you know, I have albums. But yeah, that would be the first. If you go on my channel, the very first thing you see is those songs off there. And please check it out. I'd appreciate it. All right. Well, anyways, I don't know if you're still there, but thank you so much for watching it. You think you're the only one that watched, but that's okay, because I only need one person to watch to make me nervous. Because when I do this in public, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to find out then that I'm nervous. I want to find out here in front of just like one person. Yeah, and I can't get fired for this. Yeah, One Time, Face of Pure Gold, Glam Metal Bands. If you haven't heard that song, I really like that one. That's a newer one, about people who like glam metal bands, and it's about me myself actually. But I figured there's people like that. But I'm not writing it as if I'm talking to about people like that, but it's me. I appreciate that. Yeah. And you actually are helping, because that's literally what I'm doing this for, is so I can like that Van Halen one. That's the first time I attempted it. That's the first. I think that's the second time I attempted it. And I think I got it. I messed it up a little bit, but I played through it. This time I like destroyed it because I knew that you were watching. But that's okay. So thank you very much for watching. Do you have any other questions before I go? And I have to say one thing about my songs is that if you're wondering why they're all over the place, it's like a Beatles Van Halen thing. How Van Halen or Beatles, they'll play like 1920s type of songs, and then they'll play like a modern hard rock song, and then they'll do a blues song and a country song, and like the Beatles, and they'll even do Indian songs, and like number nine, where it's like weird and makes no sense. I have a bunch of that too. Thanks, Beatles. Like just stuff that don't make sense, but it sounds neat. Like one of them, I used a Steve Vai record, and it was like where he makes the guitar talk, but I would just, with the record off, I would go, and it would like make a weird sound because he's trying to make the guitar talk like a person, because the little boy's talking, and then Steve Vai starts going blah blah blah, just like the person hitting all the notes that the little kid is hitting, talking. Steve Vai, I love Steve Vai. Shoot. Oh, you're a drummer? Oh, so now you really know when you were watching me Hot for Teacher. I would have just like not even tried if I knew you were a drummer. For guitar, the first thing you want to know is like music, just basic music theory, because every song is the same song. So like, for instance, I'll explain this in a nutshell. I'll use the piano as an example. In the key of C, this note right here with these two black keys, that's C. That's the C major scale, right? The C major scale. Those are the 7 notes in the major scale. And the 3 main chords, so that would be C, D, E, F, G, A, B. It's the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's all that's happening here. The piano lays it out to where you can see it much clearer than the guitar. So if you need to, just rewind this, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are the 7 notes of a song, and the 3 primary chords most likely to go to, and the most important chords. And if it isn't these chords, it's a chord that carries almost all these same notes, and that's called a substitute chord. So you want to know the 7 notes in any key, but particularly C, because almost every song's in either C major or G major, and the 3 chords, which is C, F, and G. C, F, and G. And if you think about it, the reason why the other chords, like what about 2, 3, 4? And 2, 3, and I'm sorry, I did 4. 2, 3, and 7. Well, if you look at closely, take a look closely here. If you look closely, here's the 4, right? Here's the 2. So a 2 is a 4. So, for instance, if you're going, don't let me down, 2, I could have just went to 4. Don't let me down, 2, down. It just sounds artier when you hit the 2 instead of the 4. Not that the 2 is better than the 4. And same thing with the 5. So when you hit the 5, the 3, look at that, same thing. All white keys skipping. In the key of Z, it's clear to see. All white keys skipping again. So here's 5, here's 3. So 3 is a 5 with the same notes. Same with the 7. Here's 7, but here's 5. That's a 5. A 7 is a 5. It's a substitute for a 5. If you don't want to do a 5, because you always do a 5, do this 7 instead, the substitute 7. But you wouldn't know that if you didn't know the primary 3 chords, which is 1, and it's called the 1, 4, 5. So you got this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And then 1 again, right? So it's 1, 4, 5. So when you hear Grease, summer loving happens so fast. That's 1, 4, 5. Or Louie, Louie, oh, baby. But it's also every other song. And if it isn't doing that, like say Stairway to Heaven is doing a substitute. Let's take Stairway to Heaven, just as an example for rock. Here's C, the one chord, like I said, or one, it'll do the same place. C, here's its replacement. Skipping all white keys, like hopscotch. There's its replacement. That's the 6. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's called the minor 6. The major 1. Its substitute home is the minor 6. So when you hear Stairway to Heaven, they're doing the minor 6 instead. So they're still doing 4, 5, but they're doing a 6. Like, and as we wind on down the road, or it goes on and on and on, heaven and hell. Right? But that's metal. It's also classical, It's also hit the road jack. Ooh, but here, except for that one. But that should explain a lot. So you really want to know the 3 primary chords, and that they really are out of the major scale. That it's called the Ionian scale for real, but everyone knows it as the major scale. So that's where I would start learning a C chord, F chord, G chord. That's the 1, 4, 5 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the other chords, don't matter as much, because you could replace every one of those chords with the original chord that it substituted. Like Stairway to Heaven, it's substituting the 1 with the minor 6, like I said. But let's do it like that instead of going right. And as we wind, let's do it here. And as we wind on down the road. Now it's a pop song. Our shadows taller than I saw. Some 1, 5, 4. I'm doing this one up here, like love stinks. Love stinks. Yeah. Or any song. Crimson and Clover. 1, 1, 5, 5, 4, 4, or Twist and Shout, 1, 1, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, or La Bamba, same thing, La Bamba, or Louie, or Wild Thing. But like every song. So when you got let's say something that you think is more complex, like when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. What is that? It's 1 to the 5 to the minor 6. To the 4, 1 to the 5, then 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 again, And if you want to know what an advanced chord is, it's this. 1, we'll take the 1 chord. 1, a chord is 1, 3, 5. Since you play drums, you might not know that, but that's what a chord is. Out of do, re, mi, the C chord is 1, 3, 5. Out of do, mi, so, do, mi, so, right? Do, re, mi, fa, so. But it has no number. So a jazz chord or an aria chord would have a number. You just play hopscotch on the key of C in the piano. It's as clear as a bell. There's a C7, major 7, C major 9, C major 13. And wait, am I right about that? Yeah, 7, 9, 11, I'm sorry, 13. And it doesn't go any higher than 13 because that's 1 again, So it just starts, it's hitting the C again. And so if you look closely, it's doing hopscotch. C, look at skipping from this one to 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 this one. And if you look even closer, and here's the funny part, these 3 notes, D, F, and G, are the ones I'm skipping. So it's as if someone went like this, which you can do. Watch. 4, 5, and hit all of them. And it sounds like some weird jazz chord. And there you go. So that's what I would learn first, is basic music theory. Like anything on YouTube, basic music theory. All right, any other questions? I don't even know if you're there. I might have been talking to myself. But at least, you can rewind it or watch it later and go, okay, he didn't leave any stone unturned. I'll wait a second just in case you're there. And then I'll watch this back and watch myself. I'll probably skip this part though. I'm a music teacher, so that's what I do. That's what I do all day long, is I teach this very stuff for 20 years. Oh, you're welcome. And when you do the C, F, and G chord, here's one piece of advice about that. Very important. Teach all my students this. As when you learn the C chord, it'll tell you to go like this, this, and this. But the problem is if you play it that way, it'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you're gonna want to learn how to land all the fingers at the same time like this. So all is it usually 3 fingers, so F, C, A minor, E major, E minor. You want to just be able to land. So the way that I learned that was this. You find a chord, lift your fingers off slightly, and see if you can land all 3 fingers exactly perfectly on the string again. And if you can, which you probably can't, because it's actually no one can at first, even me. So, I mean, everyone. And so you lift it just a little bit, and then a little bit more when it gets too easy and you get bored. Okay, I could do that. Then you start going farther away like that until your hand's completely open like that, and you can just land. You can just land. And then once you can do that, the last step is going from another chord, like if you're learning a particular song, like let's take G, because that would be the second most popular chord. So G to C. You would go, first you learn how to land G too. You do the same thing to G, but G, C, and learn how to land all 3 at the same time like that. Even if you got to go slow though, and that's always better to go slow and make sure it's perfect and never land wrong. It's better to not even put your fingers down if they're going to be wrong. That's the most important step. So you got to be very mindful. I consider this meditation. It keeps your mind young because you're not focusing on it. If you're really focusing on this, then whoever pissed you off, you totally forgot about that because you're getting high off noticing, hey, I'm improving ever so slightly. But unfortunately, no one else that you talk to will notice this slight, like your wife, or if you were a kid, your parents. Yeah. But they can't see that minor, improvement. But you can. So that's what I advise. Okay. Thank you, Oracle of Courage, for watching. I appreciate it a lot. I really do. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye.